Thanks for inviting us in at 6 o'clock. We want to begin tonight with breaking news because within the last 2 hours, IMPD is now confirming officers shot and killed a man while serving a warrant. The shooting happened in Johnson County around 2 this afternoon. Our Matthew Foltz joins us live from the scene tonight at 6. He's got the latest on this police investigation. Matthew?
Yeah, Scott, this investigation is still ongoing behind me. We're now learning that the man who was shot and killed, police tell us he was wanted for multiple preliminary charges, including domestic battery, plus intimidation of a weapon, and Metro Police say he was a person of interest in a recent homicide based out of Indianapolis. Now, at this hour, you could take a look behind me. This investigation is still ongoing tonight. This is behind the Ryder Distribution Center off of Mitsubishi Parkway, just off of I-65. You can see, I know it's a little dark to see, but it looks like investigators, their main focus right now, as the light is shining on the passenger side of that semi cab, that's where that shooting took place. Now, I want you to take a look at some of the video we shot of the scene earlier this afternoon. State police now leading this investigation, and they tell us the shooting happened around 1:30. Now, they say officers with IMPD were doing an investigation on this man, and at some point, SWAT team members had to be called in. They were making commands for the man to come out of that semi cab, and at some point, after some time, shots were fired at that man. He was transported to the hospital where he later died. Now, we're told that no officers were injured in this shooting. And I did speak with a FedEx employee who was dropping off another shipment in the area when he drove by and saw what was going on. Take a listen to what he had to say about witnessing this shooting.
Very hard to watch something like that happen. Gives you a little shaky feeling, never seeing something like that and then watching it happen in front of your eyes. So we're in Franklin, Indiana. Not much bad stuff happens in the downtown part or over here. So watching it was like, holy cow.
Yeah, certainly a chaotic scene, and as you can imagine, and we also heard from IMPD Chief Chris Bailey this afternoon. He's calling this incident a tragedy. We also are told that investigators found a firearm at the scene. We still do not know if they found that firearm inside of the cab or outside, so still many questions to be answered as this investigation is still ongoing tonight. We're still working to learn the name of the man who was shot and killed, what the name of the trucking company that he may have been driving for. So still many questions, Scott. Of course, as we get more information, we'll be sure to pass that along to you.
All right, Matthew Foltz for us tonight in Franklin. Thanks so much. And we'll continue to follow this breaking news. We'll get you updates both on air and online. We'll have the latest for you tonight on 13 News at 11. Tonight, we've learned that Indiana lawmakers are now moving up their entire legislative session so they can start tackling this issue of redistricting next week. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker has been following this story since the news broke around 1 this afternoon. So, Emily, tell our viewers how this is going to work.
Yeah, so House Speaker Todd Houston said this afternoon that the House is coming back this coming Monday to start the 2026 legislative session, and they're going to, he said, deal with legislative issues including redistricting. And then soon after that, Senate President Pro Tem Rod Bray, he put out a statement, and he said that the Senate would be back the week of December 8th to make a final decision on whatever the House sent them on redistricting. So first the House would deal with it, they would send that to the Senate, and then the Senate would have a vote. But you'll remember both chambers last week voted to not come back into this building until January 5th, and that's got House Democrats now saying that House Republicans are not following the rules. House Minority Leader Phil Giaquinta said today, according to state law and House rules, he should have been consulted by Speaker Houston and would have had to have agreed on any date change for reconvening. Giaquinta said that didn't happen, only that he got a call from the Speaker this morning saying that the House is coming back on Monday. When asked if House Democrats would still show up here on Monday, Giaquinta kept referring back to House rules and that January 5th date. But even if Democrats decided not to be here, Giaquinta spoke to the challenges Democrats face being able to have an impact on this issue because they're in the super minority.
You know, we are in the super minority, so we can't, walk out and stop the proceedings. So now there are some, certainly there's probably some House Republicans that don't want to vote for this either, and maybe they're the ones that shouldn't show up.
Now, House Speaker Todd Huston has said all along that the votes are there in the House to support redistricting. Senator Bray has said that the votes are not there in the Senate. So far, we haven't seen a bill filed yet on redistricting. Governor Braun reacting to all of this news this afternoon, saying this Thanksgiving he's grateful that both chambers are convening to vote on what he called fair maps. Indiana Democrats already organizing, planning a rally on Monday, December 8th against redistricting. That is the week, of course, that the Senate will have it. And State Party Chairman Karen Tallian just issuing a statement about 20 minutes ago. She actually named 6 House Republicans who have already come out publicly and said that they are against redistricting. And she called on these 6 Republicans not to show up here on Monday to essentially block a quorum. That is the number of lawmakers that have to be present for any kind of official business to happen. So she is calling on these 6 House Republicans not to show up. She said, let's hope these 6 have a backbone when it really counts. So really strong words from Karen Tallian, the chairman of the Indiana Democratic Party. And we've seen strong words on both sides these past 3 months during this entire debate. Scott?
Yeah, these first 2 weeks of December are going to be really interesting for you at the Indiana State House. Emily, we know you continue to cover it. Thanks so much. Emily and our colleague Dustin Grove have been following this redistricting debate every step of the way. You can see reaction from state lawmakers over on Crossroads Politics. You can stream that right now on our free app, WTHR+. And Angela, tomorrow is going to be a really interesting day. We've got the weather impact alert for people to know about.
Yes, Scott, weather impact alert due to winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour, some snow showers that might reduce visibility, and wind chills. It's going to feel like the 20s. That will be 30 degrees, feels like colder than what we had today. So we don't want you to be surprised of the big weather change that's coming. If you are traveling, be aware around those high-profile vehicles. And we do think the winds with this winter storm will be strong enough that we may end up with some minor airport delays across the region. One thing we won't get locally is a lot of snow. That's going to stay to our north. The winter storm is approaching Minneapolis. There are winter storm warnings off Lake Michigan due to lake effect snow. For us locally, it is the wind advisory for those winds 40 to 50 miles per hour. We were in the 50s today. The colder air is getting close. Be prepared. That temperature drop is coming. You will need the heavy coat tomorrow. Temperatures in the 30s with a few flurries and snow showers around along with those strong winds.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. And now if you plan to travel somewhere over Thanksgiving, there are 82 million other Americans with the same plan. The FAA expects airport travel will be the highest in more than a decade. Ella Rhodes joins us live tonight from Indianapolis International Airport. Ella, how busy is it right now?
Yeah, well, it's not too bad. This is just the end of that evening wave the Indianapolis Airport says that they see here. I want you to get a better look at these TSA lines. They've been moving pretty well, as you can see. That farther one back there, that is your regular TSA security check, so that's moving a bit slower, but the one closer to us, that's your TSA pre-check line. It's been moving pretty quickly all day long. Now, if your flight is in that 4 to 6 p.m. range, the Indianapolis Airport recommends you get here around 2 hours early. Now, this year, they say they expect to have 30 to 40,000 people traveling in and out of this airport every day this week for Thanksgiving. Now, with a wave of travelers from 5 to 7 a.m. and again from 4 to 6 p.m. The Indy Airport tells us they don't expect Thanksgiving travel numbers to be this year's fall break record numbers. We spoke with Sean Cosgrove on his way to Charlotte. He says he knows TSA here moves pretty well, but he had some difficulty actually parking this year at the airport.
I had to park in the employee shuttle lot. There was an economy overflow, so that was I've never done that before.
Cosgrove was actually the second person to tell us about parking challenges today at the airport. So if you do plan to park here at the airport, it's always important just to give yourself some extra time. Now, he's actually not too worried about his return flight. Indy Airport says they expect to have more passengers coming through the airport on Sunday, once again, as people come back from Thanksgiving. Just a few reminders this year at TSA at the Indianapolis International Airport. You don't have to take off your shoes, which is super nice to know and helps speed up that process a little bit. Also, don't forget your real ID. TSA is checking for that. If you don't have your real ID, bring your passport. And if you don't have your passport, TSA security will just have a more thorough exam for you. Scott?
Good reminders. Ella Rhodes out at Indianapolis International. Thanks so much.